Over the last couple of weeks, I have been wearing the exact same face of makeup and I have been loving it. And you guys, if you're all caught up on the Landmas vlogs, you'll have definitely seen bits and pieces of my current everyday makeup routine. But for those of you who don't watch the vlogs, I figured I would do this little makeup look in its own video and show you the makeup look that I have been loving. I always love to do a little bit of a switch up every couple of months. And so there's a few things switched up since my last everyday makeup routine. And I wanted to show you the makeup that I have been wearing and loving with a few new products, a few new tips learned from, the Nikki Makeup Masterclass that I keep referring to. If you missed that video, I'm gonna link it here and below because we learned so much from the Nikki Makeup Masterclass and a few of those things are trickling in here today. So it's kind of like my updated winter everyday makeup. This is the little switch up and let me show you the products that I have been wearing on my face. I also want to note that I've already done my brows because I am testing out a very exciting new brow product. More to come on that in a little bit. So for winter, my skin is always dry, but as the weather gets colder, I really need to switch it up. And I've been using my usual go-tos. I usually go for nice, big, thick, heavy creams. However, I've been having really intense breakouts on my face, if you guys have noticed over the last couple weeks. And a few people have commented that it could be the Welleda Skin Food. And I'm like, I don't want this to be true. However, this is also a really, really old tube. So it could very well be expired. So I'm just testing a hypothesis right now, okay? No hate towards the Welleda Skin Food. You guys know it's one of my favorite products ever, but I think maybe I do just need to get a new bottle. So I'm gonna just play it safe for now. And I brought out my Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer because this is a really beautiful makeup primer to just fully hydrate and juice up the skin. If you guys haven't tried it, it honestly feels incredible. So this is kind of what I've been reaching for. I also am getting over a cold right now, if you can tell in my voice. I'm still a little bit stuffed up, but feels so much more alive today. But I definitely need extra hydration around here from where I've been blowing my nose. So I'm just gonna press that all into the skin. I also did put on a tan, so I've got a lovely little glow, which always makes me feel a little bit more alive, especially in the winter. So I'm actually gonna be mixing up my shades. I'm using the Chanel Complexion Touch. I really just love this foundation so much. I can't get over it. It's kind of one of those products that has really changed me. And for my everyday makeup, sometimes I like to use just a tinted SPF if I'm doing super, super light makeup, or if I want more full coverage, when I'm having my breakouts, maybe I'll reach for something that's got more coverage. But just for the everyday ease, this is so nice and it just looks so natural. Hopefully you guys will be able to see it in real light here as I apply this because it really is an exceptional product. I know it's so expensive, but it really has just changed my makeup and my life, I feel. So I'm just gonna apply this. Refer has some new brushes. I'm actually gonna use a few of them today. This is the 37 brush, and I'm gonna give this a whirl on this fine day. I've mixed the shades B20 and B30 of the foundation in hopes of matching the tan that's on my neck. As I'm applying it, it actually looks a little bit more pink, but that's okay. It'll all come out in the wash in the end, but I'm just gonna press this on. I do prefer a brush with this foundation. It's definitely necessary. When you use a beauty blender, I find it just kind of soaks it all away. So keep the beauty blender reserved for those more thick, creamy, maybe oil-based foundations, and use a brush or your fingers for something that's more light so you don't waste all the product. So I'm just pressing this into my skin and it just gives the most natural, beautiful finish ever. And what I love about this is it just soaks into the skin. Even if I didn't spend any time blending it, it just naturally absorbs into the face and just gives an undetectable finish. It's just so, it really is just beauty. So I know that I haven't shut up about it, but this foundation truly is such a delight and I am just happily keeping it in my everyday rotation. Obviously with other things, if I want to switch up the coverage, that's so fine. But for my everyday go-to, if I'm doing a face of makeup, this is my top pick. You know what? I'm just gonna wipe off my lips so you guys, I don't look like a ghost as I'm doing this. Okay, so here's where the Nikki makeup tips come into play. A lot of makeup artists do this. We've done this before many times on my channel, but sometimes it's nice to be reminded of it. Doing your contour or cream bronzer before the concealer to give it the ultimate natural look, which I love. Now, I've got a few cream contour bronzing products that I've got on rotation that I'm using up. However, I recently did like a big makeup move in the studio. We finally transferred all the products into the studio closet, if you guys saw that vlog. But I had totally forgotten about my Burberry contour stick. And this is such a gorgeous product. And I feel like Burberry Beauty has kind of been, like, where are they going? Where have they been? What's going on with Burberry Beauty? I'm not sure. I'm really hoping it doesn't end up like a Marc Jacobs Beauty because they actually have so many beautiful products for like natural, radiant skin. And I love this whole line they did of their little pens. They had like the lip contours as well. I love the face contours. It's just such a good product, especially when you're traveling. It's so nice to just have this on hand. And this is a really nice color. This is the medium contour wand, and it's just so easy. Like, it's such a creamy product. It's so easy to apply. You literally just draw it on, and I think that's so fun. And I just thought, you know what, this is an older product for sure. Perhaps I shall also make an effort to use this up before it expires and dies. So it's got that little bit of a like gray purpley hue, which just makes it the perfect shade for contouring. So I'm just drawing that onto my face, keeping that on hand just in case if we want to go back and do more. And then I'm going to take my brush and blend that out and just really softly diffusing this into the foundation, making it look super, super natural. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I forgot. How many times can I say Nikki Makeup in a video? But I want to do the Nikki Makeup way. I forgot to put it on my temple. That was a really kind of game-changing little tip, actually. I found I really neglected putting it here, and I didn't think of it until I saw her specifically do the dot of the contour there, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, that makes so much more sense. So just blending that all over, and you can see it just gives such a nice, real shadow looking shade on the skin. And this is my Smith 157 brush. I love blending contour out with this brush specifically because it's got that perfect slant, it's got the perfect fluff. It's really, really nice one for this contour specifically because it just easily like hugs and sits on the face. It's really, really nice. So I'm just gonna sit here and blop around and just blend this out until I'm happy with the blend. Now, I don't always do this, but sometimes if I'm feeling extra fancy, I'll take a smaller brush and use that to blend out the contour on my nose, just taking a little eyeshadow brush. If I'm feeling lazy, I'll just use my same big contour brush. But if I feel extra specific, I'll just take this and rub it out on my nose. Another tip from that video, the Dior Backstage Concealer. This is the shade N2, and now I'm gonna go in and use this to conceal around the face. So if I apply this and I feel like I've lost my contour or bronzer, I will happily just go in with another little layer, but just using this to brighten up the under eye specifically for me, because this is where I have a lot of discoloration. Obviously, like, things don't always show up as they do on camera that they do, but as it looks in real life, you know what I'm trying to say. But I do have a lot of discoloration in this entire region. This is where I get a lot of like my bumps and things. It's very annoying and it kind of just never goes away. So I always just love to take concealer on the center of my face. Down the nose, on the chin. I always touch my chin. I'm so bad with touching my face, especially on my chin. That's why I feel like I always have some kind of breakout there. And then I like to carve out underneath the cheekbone just to really define that contour. And I always put it around my nose. This is gonna be a little bit questionable right now because this always happens. If I'm kind of feeling under the weather, if I'm blowing my nose, whatever, I always do my concealer, I'll set it with powder, and then my body's just like, screw you. And then I have to blow my nose. It happens every time. Only when I have set the products in. It's so annoying. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, but if it does, just please ignore the redness that will exist around my nose. But I really like this. I know it's not hygienic to use the actual applicator and then put it back in. It can be harboring bacteria. However, I do love that it's a brush. It just makes it like you're literally painting it on, and I find it prevents kind of overusing the concealer when you put it on the face, which I really like. So like I said, Refer's got some new brushes. I'm gonna kind of see which one I prefer out of these. We've got 33 and 35, these lovely little, tiny little fluffy, perfect blending brushes. I'm gonna start with 33, I think, and see how that goes. But this concealer in particular, I actually don't love a beauty blender with. I kind of prefer blending it out with a brush. And then if I need to go on top of it with a beauty blender after to kind of just smooth it all out, then that's so fine. But I find that this concealer works best, definitely pressed in with a brush. So I'm just gonna go around and pat that around, just pushing this concealer into the skin, giving it a little blend. Now again, if I am feeling lazy or if I'm more in a rush, I will just use my same foundation brush. Like, you don't always need to use a separate brush, and sometimes just around here I'm like, I get a little bit lazy and impatient and I just want to blend it out with my foundation brush, and that's fine. But it is nice to use the smaller brush, like especially around the eyes, just to get right in there and not disturb any of the contour that you've put on the nose. And then you can just go in with your finger and just pat around after, making sure everything's all nice and blended out. And then I also always keep the little contour brush on hand and kind of just go back and forth between those. And when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, like, this all happens very quickly. Obviously, when I'm talking through it, it seems like a lot. It might seem like a longer process, but going between all the products doesn't actually take that long, but it makes a big difference. So now that we have blended all of the concealer, right away I want to go in with my under eye setting powder. So I'm taking my Givenchy No. 3 powder. This powder has truly changed my life. Like, I have never used a powder like this. Kind of like the Chanel Complexion Touch foundation, there's just these products, I just reached that point where I don't know what to do without it. Like any other powder that I've put under my eyes, like, it just doesn't do the same thing. So I'm taking my Givenchy powder and my little triangle puffy puff, patting out the excess product, whoop, 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 and we go ahead and set the under eye with that right away. And just look at, oh my god, it's so soft, it's so magical. Like, look at the difference on the under eye. I always hope that this shows up like it does in real life, because you just have that shiny where you're like, like, sure, it could be glow, but maybe I just want that to look a little bit more seamless, and it does just look so seamless. I need them to come up with a little travel size, like the Laura Mercier one has, or allegedly they have a pressed powder version. I haven't actually looked into that, but I need it if they do. But this is just, yeah, it's one of those game-changing products, one of those products that I know it's expensive, it's Givenchy, obviously that can be so annoying. However, I have not used a product like this before, so I'm gonna continue to use it. And I do just take the excess and pat it around my mouth. I know it's pink and I should just keep it for the under eye, but yeah, I just take a little bit of the excess and just go right around my mouth, because that's where a lot of the movement happens. And again, my nose is so dry and like flaky and disgusting right now, so please ignore that. For blush, now I've been setting the under eye and then I'm going on top of it with blush, and it's because I had this little rediscovery of my Tata Harper Very Charming blush, which is such an old favorite of mine. I once upon a time made a video that very much looked like an ad, but it wasn't. But it was because I just was so obsessed with this blush and used to wear it every single day. And it's still fine. It's a natural beauty product. So I'm like, this could be rotten, but it's not. It smells so good. And someone recently commented saying like, I've had mine for what, I can't remember what she said, if it was 7 or 8 years. I was like, hell yeah. This shade no longer exists, but Tata Harper does have a ton of other blushes, but I'm just gonna beg that they bring this shade back, because it truly is one of the best blush shades that I've ever used. And I just wanted to pull it out again because it just gives that really natural, dewy, beautiful finish on the skin, and it also applies on top of powder so nicely. So I'm kind of just pulling this back out. This is Very Charming. I love the packaging too, honestly. They're so beautiful. And yeah, if anyone remembers that Instagram video, literally just made a love letter of this blush years ago. I can't remember if that was 2018 or 2019, but it's been love, my friends. So I'm taking my Refero 4 brush and I literally just pat that onto my cheek and kind of blend it out, and it just... So sorry, the garbage truck has just gone outside. Didn't forget the garbage on garbage day, yay! Just blending this out. And I love to do this, like really go in with the blush, especially if I'm having a more natural makeup day. I feel like it just brings a little bit of life to my face, makes me look a little bit more alive. And this particular shade, it's not as like cool toned and bright as a lot of the pink shades that I use. It's kind of that really nice in between, and especially like, obviously I have a tan on today, but I haven't the last few weeks that I've been wearing this every day, and it's one of those shades that kind of just works for both. And yeah, I'm not like going in with, you know, 3,000 different bronzers these days for my everyday makeup, but having like a nice fresh blush, I feel like does wonders for the complexion. So just patting this all around, really hugging my entire cheek with this, kind of going crazy with it, but it just, I love the color. It's so, so nice. Let's attend to the lips real quick because they're looking a little dead. Once I put blush on, I'm like, I need to put something on the lips because it always just looks so off. The NYX Nude Beige. You guys, I was using the NYX Natural Lip Pencil for so long. Recently discovered the Nude Beige shade. Wow, I love it. I love it so much. The NYX lip pencil, truly, if you find a shade that works for you, it is as good as any other lip pencil. And it's kind of that in between. It's like not as warm as a few of the everyday lip shades that I use, and it's also not as cool toned as the Makeup Forever Endless Cacao, but it's just that really nice in between. That perfect neutral shade for my lip shade, obviously. I've got a lot of pink in my lips, so I actually find that using these cooler toned lips helps to kind of neutralize that in a way. I don't know, sometimes if I use a warmer lip pencil, it can look so warm and like pull really orangey in videos and in photos. So having this more cool toned, just, I don't know, it's perfect. I'm obsessed with this lip pencil shade. And so just lining my lips with that, I do a little bit of an overline and then just kind of fill it in. And then just for like an everyday little gloss, I've been so obsessed with the Dior Cherry Oil. You know what's funny? I've been calling it cherry because it literally says Lip Glow Oil Cherry Oil. Okay, it says Cherry Oil on the cover, but then the shade is 001 Pink. So I actually don't know what the actual one would be called on Sephora, because on Sephora it says cherry. I don't know. Anyway, just know it says cherry and pink. So I'm so sorry if I have caused any confusion with that, but it really is such a gorgeous, gorgeous lip oil. And I just put that on top. And it, oh my God, it just looks so good. It has a little hint of pink that I think complements this shade of the blush so well. Nice big doe foot applicator, and it actually hydrates the lips. It's so funny. When Armene and I were in Cabo, she was using this like as her lip balm, and she's like, what? It's so hydrating. And she put it on before the gym. I think that clip made it into the vlog, and I was like, oh my God, Dior lip oil for the gym? Like, that's hilarious. And she's like, no, it's really hydrating. And it really is. Like, you don't need to put any lip balm underneath, but oh, this little combo, this little lip combo, obsessed. It's so nice. I've been wearing it every day. So at this point, I will then go in with my Benefit Professional Setting Spray. I don't feel like I talk about this enough. I know I use it in every single makeup video, but I just have to express that this setting spray changed my life, really. It just feels so good. It's alcohol-free. It's perfect. So now that we've set it with the spray, something I actually wanted to explore a little bit more was again from the Nikki Makeup Masterclass, but she talked about the difference between setting powders and finishing powders. So, you know, I set the under eyes with the Givenchy powder, and then she had actually mentioned, I can't remember which of the masterclass videos, if it was her like bonus tools one, but she had at one point mentioned that one of her favorite finishing powders was the By Terry hyaluronic powder. And I don't actually, she didn't show it, she just said it, so I don't know if it was the pressed powder or the loose powder, but I do have the hyaluronic pressed Hydra powder, and this is the one that she mentioned. So I kind of wanted to pull this out. I've added it to my everyday rotation. I haven't tested this thus far. This is new in this moment, but I'm gonna take this and use this to finish my face off. So just taking a little fluffy brush and I'm gonna pat this around and just use that as a finishing powder. I love that idea, a little hydrating finishing powder. Sounds lovely. Kind of just always fluff the powder through my brows too. Sorry guys, I felt like the light was getting a little bit crazy. The sun is shining, which is a rare sight to see in a British Columbian winter. But that's it for this makeup. I have actually been leaving my eyes plain. I've talked about it before, like obviously I was not wearing mascara a lot during the day just because I've been having this like whole dry eye blinking problem. But in general, I do feel a little bit more myself when I don't put eye makeup on. Is that crazy? I've been talking about how I want to introduce like a brown mascara because I feel like that would be a little bit nicer and light throughout the day. But I've actually just been preferring like my everyday makeup. It is a full face of makeup, but I've just been leaving the eyes plain. I feel a lot more comfortable, and when I wash my face off at the end of the day, I don't have to worry about taking off the eye makeup, and it just feels so good. Honestly, I highly recommend giving it a go. I know you can feel a little bit more of like an alien at first, but I kind of love it. This has been the makeup that I've been wearing every day. And if I have been wearing mascara, I've been obsessed with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. First of all, the packaging is beautiful, beautiful. And this one does not smudge or transfer at all. It's been such an amazing discovery. So yeah, lots that we pulled from the Nikki Makeup Masterclass continuing into my current everyday makeup routine. But this has been it. This is the makeup that I've been wearing every day for the last couple weeks, and I wanted to share with you guys because it's kind of a little updated winter switch up. I hope you enjoyed this makeup look. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. What makeup have you been loving and wearing every day, if at all? Maybe you've just been going naked faced and letting your skin breathe and shine, and that's totally fine. But I hope that this was helpful. Maybe you learned something new in today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all tomorrow for a new Landmiss video. Bye!